WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jarom and Tanner. Let's do it. Jarom and Tanner.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Oh, it's here. It's time. We're so fucking ready. I hope the Hawks are ready.
Well, if preseason was any indication, from what I've heard, because I wasn't able to watch it, thanks to antenna issues, it doesn't sound like they are too ready to go, except for how they finished the preseason off. But hey, it is what it is. But anyway, we are less than 40 hours, give or take, until the start of the Chicago Blackhawk.
40 hours.
No, 40.
We're less than 30. I mean, it's
30.
really like 27.
27, yeah, whatever. So pretty much we're saying we're as close as we possibly be for doing an episode. And we are going to continue our theme of doing season previews, but this time we are going to focus on the only team that truly matters, the Chicago Blackhawks Stanley Cup. No, just kidding. Let's start here. Let's start here with some big changes. This team is coming off a really bad year. I mean, injuries just absolutely destroyed this team. A lot of young kids had to step up and play minutes that they probably shouldn't have been, just because that the NHL bodies weren't really on this roster that was needed. KD came at the end of the season talking about how that needs to change and this team needs to take a big step up from last season. And he was a man of his word going into the offseason. I mean, even before free agency started at the draft, he started making moves and really updating this roster. You want to do a quick recap on who he brought in?
Yes. So he was definitely one of the more active GMs during the free agency, especially on July 1st. The day started out with re-signing Joey Anderson, which was kind of funny. But he brought in Craig Smith, Pat Maroon, Laurent Boissois, Alec Martinez, Teuvo Teravainen, Tyler Bertuzzi, and just when you thought he was done, he said, "Also give me TJ Brody." That was such a late in the afternoon or late in the evening.
I think that one happened too. We did our post day one free agency recording, and literally as soon as we got off, it was Blackhawks have signed TJ Brody. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a total revamped team.
Yes.
With that, according to Puckpedia, their opening night roster has $4.6 million in projected cap space, and they can fit a $21 million annual cap hit at the deadline with no moves.
Pretty sweet.
So, I mean, the Hawks could be a factor for one more year of, hey, we'll take your shit. You hook us up. Or they just be that brokerage and take be the third man in and help them out for a draft pick.
They can only do that for one trade though, because they're still retaining salary on Jake McCabe. And they have salary being paid out to Josh Bailey.
That's correct. And both of those should come off the
books. Oh, sorry. They can do two. I mixed it up. Jake McCabe is the only retained contract. You can do 3 maximum. I was just looking at it incorrectly.
So looking at this overhaul roster, how are you feeling going into the year?
I feel like the preseason isn't gonna really show how they're gonna end up being, because it is such a new roster. I mean, because not only all the guys that they signed, but they brought in Ilya Mikheyev on a trade. That's another guy up front. So they really brought in how many? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Taylor Hall, technically, because he only played 10 games, is a 6th guy being added to the forward core. So you're changing basically half of the forward core from last season. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some getting used to. The lines probably got switched up a bunch in the preseason. I mean, especially since, like everybody's playing.
Yeah.
And they're going to find time when they're going to eventually gel together. I feel like right now they have Bedard and Kurashev on separate lines. And for whatever reason, I think they'll probably just end up on the same line eventually because they had such good chemistry together.
Yeah. We can talk about. We want to talk about the lineups now. I mean, kind of go into it because I mean it is kind of part of the whole big thing. Ben Pope was the first, I think, where we saw it releasing the projected lineup for tomorrow. You already talked about that top line: Taylor Hall, Kurashev, and Bertuzzi line 2, Foligno, Dickinson, and Anderson line 3, which I really like.
That line was very good together last year too, and that's back when Anderson was wearing number 15, so they were the 15, 16, 17 line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Patty Maroon, Ryan Donato, and Craig Smith will be the fourth line, and that leaves Reichel and Anthony as the odd men out on the forward core. And I mean, he's young, he's a kid, but it's like it continues to just not go in his favor. I mean, like I said, I had a hard time watching preseason hockey just because of this whole antenna thing, trying to get antenna to work and to actually get it on TV. So I can't speak for his play in the preseason. And the same thing with Anthony. When you told me today that he's a healthy scratch, essentially, I was like, what happened? Is he like, what's going on? You just said he hasn't been performing.
Yeah. Just not doing great.
So, I mean, is it getting to the point with Reichel though? Like, you got to start questioning something. Is it like a change of scenery type thing for the kid, or like what?
I feel like Reichel's going to end up having more of a trajectory kind of similar to Kurashev, where he's getting minutes, and I think he just has higher expectations. But I think as this season and like next season go on, I think that's when he'll start to like really hit his stride. It's like everybody really wants these young kids to like tear it up immediately, but that's not always the case, especially if you're not like a very large player.
Is it? I mean,
6 foot 170 is not like a huge guy.
Yeah, I mean, does he like? I mean, he's behind the 8 ball right there, but just because I mean, he's been yo-yoed up and down between different coaching, different like almost management leadership here. It's like you want to like I want this kid to be good. I want him to be a factor going forward. But if he's going to continue to just be healthy scratched, it's like at what point do you just say, all right, beat Rockford? But then you talk about going down to Rockford with him, and then you have guys that can truly need this time in Rockford that got sent down. Your Frank Nazars, your Landon Slaggert. Yes. Guys like that, Colton Dock, who were close to that bubble players about making it out of training camp, but it's just not their time yet. Like they need to come more summertime Rockford. You send Reichel down there, then you start taking away key moments for them on the ice. So it's kind of like he's in this limbo for the Hawks.
The other thing too is I'm not sure if he would have to go through waivers or not if he was sent down.
He wouldn't have to?
I don't know. He might have to.
Let's see.
He is eligible for waivers.
Oh, shit.
So if he was to get sent down, I'm assuming somebody would likely snag him up because I still think there is upside to him.
Right. I mean, and we say he's 22 years old. The kid is literally a kid when it comes to this league.
Oh, yeah. Like, there's plenty of 22-year-olds that have been, contributing a lot, but, like, it's not as many as people would think.
Right. Everybody sees the Bedards, the Patrick Kanes, McDavid, Austin Matthews guys coming in and just 18, 19 years old and just tearing it up. I mean, we see what he can do when he's consistent, when he gets some consistency out there, and it's just a matter of time. And I think that there is going to be opportunity. I think you could almost pencil in a Taylor Hall injury at some point. Hopefully it's just more short-term, couple games type of injury. You got to imagine that fourth line is going to be at least Maroon and Smith will probably be rotating in and out. I'm not saying that Reichel will pencil in the fourth line, but someone's got to come in the lineup, and you got Joey Anderson that can move up and down. You got Foligno who can move up and down. So, I mean, there's going to be opportunities for him. I think out of the two healthy scratch players, I think Anthony C is a little bit more concerning, but then again, he's on his final year of his contract. I mean, so that big cap hit's coming off the books next year. So, I mean, that is what it is.
Yeah, he's not really like a player of the future type player for this team like Reichel is. So like if he's playing, if he's not playing, it's kind of whatever.
Yeah. So then going ahead and looking at the defensive pairings here, you got Alec Martinez and Seth Jones as the top unit, Alex Vlasic and TJ Brody as the second, Connor Murphy and Nolan Allen, who was a big surprise out of this group here, going to be making his NHL debut tomorrow or tonight when the Hawks take on Utah. We talked about this a little bit, like when it was kind of rumored, the Martinez, Jones, Vlasic, Brody. I'm still hoping that's kind of a short leash thing.
Yeah. Because I did really like Vlasic alongside of Jones, especially because that gets him a lot more minutes, the two of them being out there. I wonder if Jones still plays a lot of minutes. I mean, obviously he'll be on the power play. He'll probably play penalty kill. I'm assuming Vlasic might be first line penalty kill still. He's got to be. He was one of the best defensive defensemen last year. But like I think I mentioned before, was like I wonder if him being alongside of TJ Brody is what maybe gives Vlasic a little bit more leeway to play a little bit more offensively in certain situations.
Yeah.
And not be so like I got to make sure I'm back all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I hope Vlasic is really the key factor among this decor this season. I mean, you had like last year we came in with Korchinski, Vlasic, and Kaiser kind of figuring out, who's going to be what role, and everyone was kind of penciled in. And Vlasic just took the ball, ran, made Seth Jones a better defenseman, I think. I mean, I really think that unit worked so well together, which is why it's a little disappointing they're broken up. But no, I agree with what you're saying. I think giving him the opportunity to not be anchored down to Seth Jones, and it's total contradiction what I just said, but you know, given the opportunity to do a little bit more out there, I mean, you nailed it right there.
Hopefully that's what it is. I don't know. Maybe they're better together. I just need better defense than what we had last year.
100%. And for people talking about Korchinski getting sent down and like, demoted, he's a bust, all this kind of stuff. He should have been down there last year. He was in a weird situation last year. He was past his junior level. He wasn't gonna do anything better in juniors, but he was not eligible to play Rockford. So he just got stuck in the NHL in a situation where he wasn't potentially probably ready for it. And you know what? He got the experience, he got the minutes, and now he's going to go down to Rockford, play probably top pair, probably going to play with Leshinov, possibly.
I mean, that would make sense. That is Del Mastro right now. I mean, Leshinov's going to be, he's probably coming back soon.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like these kids that are getting sent down to Rockford, and it's why I'm like so excited to watch Rockford this year. It's just because like they're gonna get the opportunities to be in key games because this team is fucking stacked, and they're gonna get opportunities in situations that they wouldn't get to play in the NHL, and it's just gonna be so much fucking fun.
Yes,
they're gonna come up.
I'm just looking at
we're gonna win a million cups in a row.
I'm looking at Reichel's draft class, and I mean it's kind of funny because like last year, people were talking about maybe Marco Rossi for like a Calder nominee as well. And he's got only 4 more games played than Reichel. And he's got 9 more points. So I didn't even honestly think that Rossi had that many games played. But right around him is like also Dylan Holloway, Ridley Grieg, and like Tyson Forrester. And like a lot of these guys are like, they're kind of just now starting to like hit their stride. So I think putting a lot of weight back on Reichel, like how we were talking about, like just kind of pull back a little bit, like let him fucking play.
Yeah, and it's like you said, he's right there with Rossi, like point wise, and it's just the thing is Reichel's bad moments are just so obviously bad. It's
I
very
think he was a little snake bitten last year too, because there was a lot of times he had good chances and like just hit the pipe, just miss wide. Goalie makes a like insane save. It's just kind of like couldn't catch a break.
Yeah. So, and then of course the goaltending is going to start off as Mrazek and Soderblom with Boursois out with what was it, knee surgery, right?
I think so.
Should be back like November or something like that. So
Laurent Boursois is expected back actually October 11th is what it says.
Oh, no shit. Oh yeah, it was the start. It was the first week of the season that potentially was going to be out. Okay. So it probably is only going to be a couple weeks because he'll need to get some tune up just to get it out there, get some reps, and then
and then Kaiser is also out, and that's why even though Isaac Phillips went through waivers, he's still on the team. Yeah, and then he doesn't have to clear waivers again apparently once Kaiser comes back.
So once you clear waivers, it's like 30 days that you can be sent up and down without having to go through the waiver process.
Nice.
So that's what a lot of the guys that you're seeing getting put on waivers today in the last few days. That's the situation. It's not that, oh, you're going down. It's just we want to have the flexibility, especially when it comes to salary cap and all that kind of stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah, it like when a lot of teams are working the waiver wire, it's kind of a good time to like do yours as well, because I feel like a lot of people are just making their moves for like internal things, even though there was like 5 claims today. But there's so much movement that like you're kind of like, don't look at who I put on waivers.
Oh yeah, no, exactly, because it's like, and you're kind of calling teams bluffs, or not bluffs, or you're daring them, because it's like this time of year everybody is crunching the numbers and doing exactly what they have to do to be under that salary cap, and then you go and you put a guy like Reichel and a playoff team who's floating right there at the salary cap. You got to like, okay, you're gonna do it. You're gonna take the chance and grab him, and then you have to figure out your salary cap more, or are you gonna trust what you built in the offseason and start the season with this? Like it's kind of funny the gamesmanship that there is with that kind of stuff, and it's even funnier that you're messing with people's lives by doing that.
Yeah, dude. You're gonna take him? Oh, you're gonna take him?
So the other big news that kind of came out, or big change that came out with this team that we purposely didn't talk about just because we wanted to save it for the preview. Nick Foligno was named captain of the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah. He fills some big shoes with Jonathan Toews. A lot of people kind of, I don't know. I think it's 50-50. I think you're either expecting this or you're expecting Bedard. And this was the right move, I think.
Absolutely. It's so funny because like you need that buffer between the great dynasty era stuff where you had the buffer of Colleton for Quenneville, which this one I'm just going to point out, this is a good buffer. The other ones we've had have not been good because it's Colleton for Quenneville, and then it was Vosters for Pat Foley.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh God, but like now like you get a buffer between whoever is next, which is probably Bedard, but like Foligno is like an easy, clear choice. Like the second he was on the team last season and you see a little bit behind the scenes, I'm like, oh shit, like that guy's gonna fucking be the captain.
Yeah, and he fucking deserves it. I mean, he's been a captain before. Yep. I saw a lot of people were talking about like once he was named captain, a lot of people were praising this, and they're like, let's normalize making the true locker room guy captain, not the best player on the team. I mean, a lot of time.
Yeah, I guess you can say a lot of times it is the best player, but there's plenty of teams that choose like the actual best leader. Like remember when like Andrew Ference was like the captain in like Florida or some shit. I'm trying to remember who the captain of Edmonton was before McDavid, but it was like there's been like
Ference.
fourth liners. Was that Edmonton?
I think it was Edmonton you're thinking about. Yeah.
Okay. There's a ton of stuff like that. I mean, fucking Radko Gudas is the captain of Anaheim.
Yeah, that one doesn't fit either, though. I can't like. I mean, I guess he could be a good locker room guy.
He could be a leader.
Yeah, he just seems like a piece of shit, regardless. But
I think he's the type of guy. Like, I mean, Trouba is the type of guy that's like, if you fuck with anybody on the team, like they have everybody's back, like, and they're gonna go balls out to try and fucking do whatever they can to destroy people, so that it's easier for their players, to fucking go score and shit.
Yeah. And you know what, though? It's like, too, if the plan is to give it to Bedard, whether it's only a 1 year with Foligno or if it's through the remainder of his contract, which I think it should be.
Yeah, it's the 2 years for sure.
Yeah. But it's besides Jonathan Toews, I think this is a great person that has been associated with the Blackhawks to be that guy to mentor Bedard into that leadership role. Yeah. I mean, Bedard, from what it seemed like, Bedard's he's got that leadership dog in him. Like he's gonna be a great leader, but I think there's a difference between gonna be a great leader and being the best leader. And I think Foligno is gonna really show that for him.
Oh, absolutely. I was gonna say, can you imagine if like after the season they're like, all right, we're taking the C off your chest. We're gonna give it to Bedard now. You'd be like, bro, I got 1 year left.
Yeah. I think Bedard gets an A next year. I think.
Yeah, he had an A in the preseason game against St. Louis,
which gave him all new fucking mojo out on that ice. But yeah, well, let's get into that. That's the one thing going around social media with the preseason, and that's the only thing I want to talk about with the preseason because it's all I really saw was fucking Enforcer Bedard is here, baby. Let's fucking go.
It's not gonna take any shit except. I don't think he actually needs to play like that with the team that he's going to be playing with because that game on Saturday was mainly AHL guys.
Well, what's interesting, though, what I love about it is Bedard knows he's got guys that are going to step in for him. So he can be that little shit, get in there, and the second someone comes after him, you got Foligno jumping, you'll have Bertuzzi jumping in. Like, you got all these guys that have no problem fucking fighting for Bedard. And I just love the confidence. I mean, this kid has the growth I've seen from him, like personality and just I don't want to call it his ego, but like he is just in 1 year, it's like he's a completely different player for the best.
Yeah, I'd say like confidence, I guess.
Confidence, yeah, there we go.
Right? Yeah, he's gonna be real fucking good again, man. I can't wait.
Like he was talking to the press after one practice and they're like, oh, do you have any, what's your goals for the season? Point wise or and he's like, he goes, yeah, I got some in mind, but I'm not going to tell you guys because I'll never stop hearing about it. Like, he's just
that's so funny.
Like he's finally showing that personality. And
dude,
it really, I think
it's hilarious because he's gone live on Instagram a few times to predict football
NFL
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking
amazing. Like that's what we need to see because I thought the kid was a fucking robot, legitimate robot, just hockey. And then now he's having fun out there and all that, shooting shit and joking around. Yeah. I'm excited for this. I'm really excited to see what year 2 brings. And if it's up to what a lot of people are projecting for him, it's going to be fucking fun.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot more hope this season than he did last year. So he put up 61 points last year.
Dude, just having Teravainen on his line.
The
first goal Teravainen scored, I think it was against the Red Wings at the United Center.
Oh, his first ever goal?
No, with the Hawks, this preseason.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
And Bedard had the puck and he throws it to the front of the net and Teravainen just picked up backhand and put it in the net.
He just put it on net. That's all he did. He just put it on net.
But it's how many times did that exact play happen last year? And the puck would just bounce off the guy's stick or or something like that. Like it's just right there. That's a difference maker right there.
Oh yeah, you have a lot more experience that you just added to the team of like guys that just know how to get the puck to the net. Um, that's all you got to do. I feel like once they start doing that, where they're just like ripping shots from wherever, that's what happened on Saturday. Like it was Ryan Donato, right? Yeah, it was Donato. Just like the goal that he had, it was like a broken play a little bit. He got the puck up by the blue line, and then he just clapped it on the net, and ends up going off one of the defensemen and going in. It's like Hawks didn't ever really do that. They always try to make like the perfect pass, and like
Yeah.
they're not very good at moving the puck too much. Like there's some teams that are like Colorado that can just fucking tic-tac-toe the puck around the offensive zone. The Hawks aren't that kind of team right now. Like they need to just get the puck on net and fucking crash.
I mean, 2 years, I think, when all those kids come up from Rockford and are full-time guys, I think it's gonna be exciting to watch. Like we are.
Yes.
I don't like, man. I don't know if I can say it enough. It's like Hawk fans, like it's gonna be great. Like your patience with the shitty hockey is going to pay off because they are doing everything right. They're putting the right pieces in place. And now they're gonna be able to have the space or the cap space to go ahead and bring some from decent players in a year or two. It's like it's gonna be fun. And yeah, man, I'm just fucking excited.
Dude, the other thing that's kind of funny to me, or that I want to bring up, is fucking the kid AJ Spellacy.
Oh my god, dude, I love this kid.
First of all, I didn't realize it, but he doesn't even have a contract, so I don't know how he was able to play preseason games.
I think he had an ATO or It was an ATO or PTO.
I don't know.
But we have his rights, so I think
yeah,
like
I feel like he should have been signed to play preseason though, right? I don't know. I don't know how that works. Either way, I feel like we might got pretty lucky, and this kid could be like a pretty good stud. He's fucking 6'3", 200 pounds. He had a great what was it? The prospect tournament, and then still kind of making a case of like what a great third round pick that we got. And I can't wait to see what he does in Windsor, because even his first game back in Windsor, he gets a fucking Gordie Howe hat trick.
yeah. He's a captain too. I think he's an assistant, but I mean, or is he the actual captain? I mean, he's got a letter on his jersey.
I can find out. Let's see. I think it says it. If you go to like the Windsor Spitfires on Elite Prospects, it does not say it. Damn. Maybe it's only in the NHL teams that it says it. Either way, dude, I can't wait to pay attention to that kid's season 2, because that's gonna be fucking awesome. It's so crazy. His whole story of just like getting like a D1 scholarship or something for football, then commits to play hockey and ends up going to Canada to play in the OHL, and then gets drafted by the Blackhawks. Pretty sweet.
But like you were saying too, like this is I mean, he's only committed to full-time hockey for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
So, I mean, that kind of growth for somebody that's only been committed to hockey for that short amount of time, and the fact that like he'll get more and more in-depth training, like he could be a steal. I don't think he's got a letter in Windsor. He's already got 3 points in 2 games, 2 goals and an assist.
Yeah, I mean his size, his speed, like it's just the perfect combination. It's like it's
dude. The fact if you watch the fight that he got into, it's because he drilled the guy behind the net. The guy was dead. I was like, oh my god, perfect. Like this kid is gonna fucking fly down the wing. They're gonna dump the puck in, and he's gonna just destroy the defense on the back end.
I want to say it was Scott Powers that said something. I don't know. It's not important, but still, the kid's a gamer, and it's going to be fun to watch and to see where he goes by the time it comes to decision to go completely pro and all that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about some realistic expectations for this team this year, because if you can look at our group chat, we have one buddy, Dice, who is saying the Hawks are guaranteed 40 victories.
Guaranteed. I don't know if he said guaranteed.
No, I think he said guaranteed. But he's hammering that number 40 home.
Yeah, 40. Yeah,
And
yeah.
Dice just likes to if you know Dicer, he likes to just stir the pot and commit to the overreaction. And then when I disagree, he calls me negative. But anyway, where do you honestly see this team finishing in the standing wise? Like what would you consider to be a good season for this team?
Jesus Christ. 40 wins would put them like in the playoff picture.
Yeah, it's just they're not
like
there.
Washington went to the playoffs with 40 wins last year. Where do I see that? I mean, they're gonna probably end up still being last in their division. I would hope that they aren't. I would love it if they weren't. Right now, if you go and check the standings, they're top of the division.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Take a picture. Remember this forever.
Stop the count.
Yeah, stop the count.
Just a refresher. 23, 53, and 6 for 52 points last season, and then they were a minus 111 goal differential.
Yeah, that's gonna change. I would hope they get at least 30 wins.
Yeah, I like the idea of between 7 and 10 more wins this year.
Yeah. 35 would be great.
Yeah.
But I think 30 should be like the goal.
If they could do what Arizona did last year, which was 36, 41, and 5, I would call that like way outkicking their coverage and really exceeding expectations.
Yeah. I mean, 70 points would be good because that's just 9 more wins right there.
I would like them to be just outside the top or bottom 5, which again is Arizona.
Yeah. Just have a season like Arizona did.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, 70 points to go from 52 to 70. Like, yeah, there's no reason not to shoot for the best.
Yeah, I mean, other than obviously getting more wins, I would love if they would not have as many blowout losses.
Yes.
Because last year, holy shit. It's like, so if I don't know if you've like ever noticed this, but on Hockey Reference, when you go to the team page, there's like a game results. And it says like the height of the bar is the margin of victory. There's a lot of really long bars going in the loss direction.
Yeah.
There's like 8-1 loss to Arizona, fucking 7-1 loss to Seattle, 8-1 loss to Dallas, 5-0 to Colorado, 5-0 to Colorado, 5-0 to LA. Dude, those games are just depressing. I just want a lot less of that.
All right. Last thing I want to do before we get to some like bold takes here. Gonna read you a player. I'm gonna read their stats from last season. Sure. I want to hear over under if they're gonna hit that mark again. Let's start with Philip Kurashev. 18 goals, 36 assists, 54 points. You think he's over, under, matching that?
I think he goes over. I think he builds on what he did last year because, like, not only are we talking about Bedard having more help, but Kurashev also is going to have more help. And he's kind of solidified his role in the top 6 with the way that he played last year. Whereas the year before and the year before that, he was kind of floating around between lines like 2 through 4 with mix and matching with everybody.
Yeah.
Him getting probably first line power play time and being on line 1 or line 2 for majority of the year, I think he gets more points.
I know, and I know a lot of people will talk about his success last year. It was just, it was the Bedard effect. But it's like you got to remember Bedard missed 14 games. Yeah. And Kurashev was still putting up numbers. So I think you got to give the kid benefit of the doubt. I mean, I I don't think if he goes under, I don't think it's going to be greatly under. I think he's going to come very close to at least matching, but I would not be shocked if he goes above.
Honestly, I'm thinking like, what is it? Around 20 goals, around 40 assists.
Yeah, that'd be close. I mean, that's what, 6 more points gives you 60.
Because he put, that's what I'm saying. He probably float around 60 points, and that's where he could probably stay. He had 18 and 36 last year. I'd say he can get close to that. Probably, like I said, 20 and 40.
All right. Alex Vlasic, 2 goals, 14 assists, 16 points, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking the over-under. He was a team best defenseman at -4. How does his plus-minus finish this year away from Seth Jones?
Ooh. He might be like one of the only plus players. But like, like his -4 is like so good because everybody else is like -20. So everybody else will hopefully be closer to like -5 to 10, and he'll be like +6.
Hopefully Bedsy and Khrushchev can get a little bit better than that -44.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right, Jason Dickinson, breakout season, got him a nice little ticket. 22 goals.
Oof. I think he probably goes under. I don't know. He could like. It's hard. It's hard to like say just because none of those came on the power play, really.
Yeah,
so his
only
were all
2
like
of them. He had
5
2.
on 5.
So 20 goals were, I believe 5 on 5. So
he was killing it, even strength, man. He would probably get close to 20. I don't know if he gets over 20, especially because he's just playing third line.
All right, 2 more here. Peter Mrazek, 18, 31, and 4, 305 goals against average, 908 save percentage, over under save percentage.
Oh, over. Because he played really well with a bad team, and league average is around 910. Actually, it's like 911. Never forget. And I think he's gonna either hit that or ideally I would love it if he's like around 915. But we'll see. He's got a much better team in front of him, but like we said about the preseason, they got to start gelling and getting that chemistry going. Because there was a lot of preseason games that they got blown the fuck out of.
All right, and last one, and remember, this is realistic, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Connor Bedard, 22, 39, 61 in 68 games. We know it's gonna be over. I think you take that off the board. Give a 10-point range on where you think he realistically finishes this upcoming season, assuming plays a full 82 game schedule.
Full 82 games, 87 points.
Oh, you're right on the dot, 87.
Yeah, but it could be 10 more.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're saying the 87 and 97?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a point per game player. If not, I mean, if it was 10 less, it was 77. I just don't see that though. I don't know.
No,
he's got so much more help.
He's definitely going to do better than, I think, 16 points.
Better than 16 points?
Yeah, because you're saying if he goes to 77, because he had 61 last year. So I think he's going to do better than a 16-point improvement.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but it's just different because he's going to have 14 more games.
Right. So, okay, let's wrap up Hawks talk here with either a bold take or a bold prediction for the 2024-2025 Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh shit. Bold take.
I'll say mine. I just kind of piggyback off what we were just talking about with Bedard. I think he's going to hit 100.
Yeah, I hope he does. I don't even know. Fuck. You could just be like the Hawks finished 7th in division. Like not 8th. don't know, man. I literally did not think this through. I was like, oh, something will come to me.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, we'll just stick with Bedard.
I
Hard
was thinking like
points.
maybe we'll get to see like Nolan Allen all year. Like if he's just consistently playing solid defensively, it's one of those things where it's like everybody has their different paths to the show, and I kind of always pull for the guys that are taken in the first round because there's a lot of pressure on them, and him finally getting his chance. I hope he runs with it and solidifies his spot um, on the team. And like I know he's more of a defensive kind of guy, so if he really does work out well, like it'd be awesome to see him all year long.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it could be like the Korchinski type thing, Wyatt Kaiser, but I think Wyatt Kaiser is going to get every opportunity to win his spot back when he gets healthy. But we'll see. All right, NHL talk. We've previewed all the divisions and all that kind of stuff. One news thing that's worth talking about, I mean, we'll just touch on it real quick, is Swayman disappoints everybody by re-signing with Boston instead of keeping the drama going into the season. Were you surprised that they did come to an 8-year after everything that was said and done?
No, because I think that like that's what they were both shooting for. And from what like Friedman was saying is that Swayman wanted like 8.5. And Boston had started at like 6.7.
Yeah.
So he got Boston to come all the way up to 8.25, which is it's hilarious because like Boston, at that point, like why not just do the 8.5?
Got to make them feel like they won something.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I really wish you would.
That's what happens when you fucking don't sign the guy before you make a trade. Like that was just stupid.
Yeah, I wish he would have got traded, requested a trade, gets absolutely no return because everybody knows Boston's screwed, and then he goes and he signs an 8x8 with whoever he got traded to.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been 7x8. It's only 7x7, just equivalent to whatever they were doing. But
Anaheim, Columbus.
Yeah. Chicago.
Those would have been great.
Yeah. So all right. Rapid fire. We're gonna do playoff picks by division. Do you think this team is going to make the playoffs or not? You want to start East or you want to start West?
Start in the East. Why not?
East. All right. Atlantic Division. We're gonna go in the order they finished last year. Yes or no, Montreal?
No.
I agree. Ottawa Senators?
No.
I agree. Buffalo Sabres, who are already behind the fucking 0-2, got done dirty by the New Jersey social media team.
No.
Detroit Red Wings?
Yes.
I'm saying no. I think it's going to be like last year, that it's going to come down to like the last day and they're just going to miss. And that's not just because like, oh, Hawks, go Hawks, Detroit size. I just think that they are still right there. I think their goaltending is a little sus, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. All right, Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
I agree. Toronto.
Yes.
Yes. Boston.
Yes.
Fortunately. And Florida.
Yes.
All right. Metro. Columbus.
No.
No. New Jersey. No.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
Philly.
I don't even know what I said during our preview, but I'm feeling yes.
Oh yeah,
no.
you said yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Philly, no. Pittsburgh.
No, I think they just miss.
Yeah. Washington.
No.
All right. Islanders.
This is where it gets hairy, and I think Islanders just miss.
Carolina.
Yes.
And New York.
Yes.
Okay. Western Conference. Pacific Division.
Okay.
San Jose.
No.
Anaheim.
No.
Seattle.
No.
I say yes. Calgary.
No.
Vegas.
No.
Oh, there's your bold pick, huh?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't
LA.
think yes.
Yes. Edmonton
Yes.
and Vancouver.
Yes.
All right. Central Division. Chicago.
Yes. No.
Utah Hockey Club.
No. No.
Minnesota.
Yes.
St. Louis. No.
No.
Nashville.
Yes.
Yes. Colorado.
Yes.
Winnipeg. No.
Yes.
Dallas.
Yes.
All right.
Winnipeg, I don't see Winnipeg dropping off so hard with like the same team. They're going to do nothing in the playoffs, but like they'll still win.
I don't know, man. I feel like they're going to drop off enough, and then fucking St. Louis or Minnesota is going to do something stupid where they're going to like just play out of their fucking minds.
That's why I'm saying Minnesota's going.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up here. We're going to do the big 4 trophies and our Stanley Cup picks, and then we'll see you next time. And the next episode will be in the season. So first off, let's start with the Calder. Who are you taking?
Mitchkov.
Mitchkov?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Fuck. Should have looked into more rookies.
I think Mitchkov's the easy choice for me because he played last year professionally. Nobody else played the same level of hockey as him.
So I am going to say Celebrini just for the fact that it's going to be a lot like Bedard, where what he's going to do on a very bad team is going to be so much more impressive than what somebody's doing on a team that has more talent than San Jose. And I'm not saying Philly. I'm not saying Philly. Yeah. No,
it's like fine. Philly's not going to be that great.
I know. Yeah. All right, Vezina.
Ooh. Demko.
If he ever plays again.
Isn't he? Oh yeah, it's still like a weird timetable. Never mind. Let's go. I have to look at the teams real quick because I always want to. I really want to say Saros.
That's what I'm saying, Saros. I think it's going to be a freaking monster season from Nashville, and he's going to be a huge part of it.
Saros. Yeah.
You're Super Saros?
Yeah, I'll stick with Saros.
All right, Norris.
I'm
sticking with my pick from last year, defending champion, Quinn Hughes, baby.
Who else? You can just go with Roman Yossi, Saros and Yossi. It's probably, I don't know. I'd probably just say McCarr.
McCarr?
Yeah.
In your heart?
My heart goes out to, it's going to be McDavid because he's going to put up like 180 points.
I know. That's why I'm like, do we not conclude McDavid? Because I feel like it's like the no-duh answer. Because I was like going to say McDavid for the exact same reason he's going to be on a fucking revenge tour this year.
Yeah, let's do the Selke instead.
Selke?
Yeah. Fuck.
Who's your Selke pick then?
Austin Matthews.
What's the Selke one again?
Defensive
forward.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I want to be stupid on this one. Jason Dickinson.
Yep. Jason Dickinson.
All right, your Stanley Cup
last year for the Selke.
All right, your cup matchup and your winner.
It is Edmonton and Toronto. No. Damn, dude. I don't know. Edmonton. It's not going to be any of these fucking teams. Dude, I can't choose.
You gotta. It's tradition.
Edmonton and Carolina. It's gonna be a rematch of 2006. Edmonton's gonna win.
All right, I'm taking Edmonton versus the Rangers, and the Rangers are gonna win.
See, I don't think.
Shut up. It's my pick. Shut up.
Yeah, I know. I'm just arguing. I don't think that the two teams that'll probably finish at the top of their divisions are going to meet in the final.
Yeah, well, here's about to change, baby. So, all right, episode 293. We're back. Hawks start tomorrow. Luckily, they're on ESPN. Unluckily, they're at 9 o'clock at night. Hopefully, something comes out with making it easier to watch once the games get going here. And if you're lucky enough to have an antenna, cherish it.
Shit works fine for me.
Yeah, cherish it, asshole. All right. Episode 293. Make sure to follow us on all social media at WCB Podcast. Follow us on your favorite podcast feed, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, the big two. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will see you on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.